Well, hello, my real estate friends. I hope you are having the best day today. Melissa English here. So, listen, today we are talking all about networking and referrals, what that even means, and how you can use it as a free strategy. I'm sharing all my secrets with you in this video on things that I have figured out in my business and how I was able to use networking events and referral sources for free to just kind of have that additional stream of leads flowing for my real estate funnel. And so I am going to give you all kinds of ideas in this video and ways that you can literally go out and do these things tomorrow in your business, to just go kill it, go crush it, go get some new leads in your funnel. So I'm really excited to get started. We had gone out so listen, it's a Sunday today, right? So we are the 15th of September, and we had gone out to the Walmart to run a few errands, and good night, prices are expensive right now. I think we got about 5 days worth of stuff. It was like 340 bucks. I'm like, "Holy crap. We got to pick up an extra lead and an extra client in closing to keep up with the prices because everything's just so crazy." But I went to Walmart, right? And so I've got my real estate stuff on. I don't know if you could tell the back of this or not, but in any case, it says real estate life. I love this little hoodie. It's super cozy and all the things, but of course, I'm going to wear this to the Walmart, right? Because this is my everyday marketing. I'm running errands. I'm going to wear it and hope that somebody asks me a question or makes a comment on it. Today, I didn't get anything from it, but you just never know. If you're wondering where I got this kind of sad story, to be honest with you, I got this from that company, All Things Real Estate, in which I believe they sold. So now if you go to their website, they're not there anymore. It's kind of sad. But I ordered this from them, and I've gotten a couple other things from them throughout my career. But from what I understand is that the new company that's coming in is going to be able to make additional things that they weren't able to make in house, such as like cups and koozies and all that. So we'll see how it kind of comes about. But in any case, that's where I got it. I don't know, maybe you could find it online, but and then my other shirt, I love this, progress and then the perfections marked out, because look, it's all about a daily progress, right? So if we could just make a 1% change every single day to reach our goal, that's what it's all about. All right. So today, I am going to share my screen with you in just a second, and it's a presentation view of this super awesome workbook that I have created and put together for you. So if you want to print it and kind of make your notes, you can do that as we move along. The workbook's completely free. It's super fun. So you can get that in the link below the video. Just tell us where to send it. We'll send that right over. So I am going to go ahead and get my screen pulled up, and we're going to get rocking and rolling in it. So if you're excited to talk about networking and referrals, you know the drill. Go ahead and give the video a like. I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, let's go. Let's go. Where are we at? We're over here. Okay, my button got missed. Let's hit the present. This is all in Canva. Okay, nothing super crazy, nothing super fancy. All right, let's go. Networking and referrals to massively grow your business. I'm telling you, this stuff works. And even if you're kind of introverted, right? So if you're one of these folks that, approaching strangers is not really your thing, we're going to go through some strategies and how you can overcome that. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I think the older that I get, the more and more I'm more of I enjoy more being at home. Right. And I think we change through our life, and every year we adapt and we just change. But when I first got into the business for like the first 10 years, I was all about, going to all the events and meeting all the people. And I still love meeting people. I still cannot not talk to a stranger. Um, but doing it kind of behind the scenes and behind my computer has become uh I don't know, it's just sort of become my thing lately. So in any case, if you are a little bit more shy, a little bit more introverted on approaching people, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so let's rock and roll with it. Again, my name is Melissa English. I am a licensed agent in Georgia and Louisiana. I am basically building this channel, and this Melissa English online brand is sort of like a little fun hub for new and growing real estate agents that it's just tips and strategies and things that I've learned throughout my career. I didn't come from a lot of money. Everything that I have worked really hard for. So I had to find strategies, things that didn't have to cost a whole bunch of bucks to build my business. And I'm sharing all of that with you. So if you're not a subscriber, definitely hit that subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And that way you don't lose me in the internet world because I'm sharing all my stuff with you here. So what we're going to cover today is data 5 topics, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is the database and the sphere, right? So if you're like, what the heck is a database? What's a sphere? We're going to cover that. Number 2, where are you spending? They should be referring. So wherever you're giving somebody money, you should be getting referrals from them. And we'll talk about that. Number 3, how other agents will grow your business. This took me a long time to figure this out and how to work this, but I'm going to tell you and share with you how other real estate agents can benefit you and your real estate business. Okay. Number 4, the power of events and memberships. And then number 5, how your hobbies can grow your business. So we're going to dive into it right now. So first things first, let's talk about a database. So if you're new to the business or you're new to real estate, you might be thinking, well, what the heck's a database? Essentially, it's this. It's a place where all of your leads that you get lives, right? And you should love this database. Be in it all the time. Every day, you should be in it. You're going to every morning put in new leads that you got yesterday, right? Their name, their phone number, their email address, what other notes you might know about them, whatever, right? Goes into that database. You do that every single morning, right? And then you should have sort of like, and if you don't yet, have some kind of like process or system on how you call your database. Definitely check out the plan with me sessions. I try to throw those out middle of every single month. We'll have a new one coming out actually next week. So for October, but where I kind of talk about different ways you can schedule. But in any case, every morning you're adding new leads in your database, folks that you met yesterday. Midday, a few hours in every single day, you're calling folks in your database to follow up. The money is all in the follow up. I'm telling you, I've lost a lot of clients and I've lost a lot of listings and a lot of money by not following up. And I'm going to share something, a little side note with you right here. Top secret stuff, okay? When you think that you're bothering that person by following up and calling them, they think you're for them. Okay. If they give you their phone number and their email address, they expect to hear from you. Think about the last time you gave somebody your phone number and email address. You probably figured, just by natural assumption, you were going to get an email or a call from them. Okay. So never be scared to follow up. Never. All right. That's where your money's at. But in any case, this database can be anything. It could be like a really fancy CRM that maybe you pay for through your broker. It could be a simple spreadsheet that you make in Excel. It could be a notebook, right? A pen paper kind of deal, whatever. And as you grow your business, you're going to start getting more and more leads. You need, probably some kind of a better digital system to keep up with all that data. But in any case, your database is very, very important. It's very important to update it, make sure you love it, make sure because listen, that database is your retirement plan. Okay. You can go and sell that data. If you decide to get out of the business, retire, change career paths, whatever, you can sell that database off. Okay. And I have agent friends that's what they do. They buy databases from other agents. It's very similar to like an insurance company. They call it in the insurance world, they call it a book of business. Very similar to that, in which, you sell it off and then that new person will come in and start calling folks from your database. Okay. In any case, I figure this is very important because you might be new and you might be like not used to this. So that's what it is. All right. You don't have to get super fancy or anything with it. Actually, for many years in my business, and actually today, I mean, still today, I have a fancy CRM through my broker. I don't really use it. Okay. I just don't. I use my Trello board and I just like that flow. I'm more simple and just kind of try to keep it easy breezy. I'm sure that that fancy CRM that I pay every month for, I think I pay like $50 a month for it. I'm sure it could do all kinds of really fun, fancy stuff for me. Honestly, I just haven't taken the time to go learn it, really, if I'm just being honest. So that's that. Okay. But definitely that database base is worth some money when you get ready to get out of the business. Okay. Now let's talk about a sphere of influence. So you've probably heard of this, I'm sure, somewhere down the road. But essentially, it's people that can potentially become your customers, refer you to others, or provide valuable insights. Right. So it's an indirect, it's a direct or indirect influence that you have on other people. Most common, especially when you're brand new in the business, is a personal network, right? So people that already know, like, and trust you, which these are the three keys to sales. They got to know, like, and trust you before they'll ever do business with you. So personal network is a big one because they already know you, like you, trust you, right? So your friends, your family, your acquaintances, former colleagues, they don't necessarily care how long you've been in the business. They're going to work with you, right? You're their family, you're their friend. But other ones that a lot of agents miss are their professional network, social media, industry associations, and customer referrals. We're gonna touch on those in just a second. The benefits of having a really good, strong sphere of influence is increased sales, right? So, the larger your network is, the more leads and more opportunities you're going to get, right? It's all a numbers game, right? So, the bigger you can grow that influence, the more referrals, more clients, more closings you're going to get, right? Uh, ability. So referrals and positive word of mouth can build trust and reputation. Of course, right? So if I'm calling Bob and I need a referral for somebody who does I need my HVAC system redone, right? So I'm gonna call my buddy who just had his HVAC system redone. And his name's Bob. And I'm like, hey Bob, who did you hire to do your HVAC system? And Bob says, "Oh, I hired ABC HVAC." Okay, cool. I'm gonna call them. Why? Because I feel Bob's already done his homework. I trust his judgment. He did it on his house, so I'm gonna just do it on mine, right? No different than a real estate agent. So this sandbox we live in every day in this real estate world, other people aren't in our sandbox every day. They're in their own sandbox. They might be an HVAC tech, right? Or they might be an HR department or whatever. And they don't care about our sandbox until it's that time, right? So odds are, if Sue is an HR person at some corporate company and she knows that Janice just bought a house, she's probably going to ask Janice, who did you use? And Janice is going to share that referral. And that's probably who Sue's gonna use, okay? So, very powerful right there. 9 times out of 10, if Janice does call Sue's or if Sue calls Janice's agent, whichever one, right? If she calls that referred agent and says, "Hey, Sue sent me your number," odds are they're gonna get hired, right? Just like me calling Bob and asking for an HVAC. I'm probably gonna hire that HVAC company. Okay. So let's talk about first part of this. Let's talk about where do you spend your money? Okay. So and a good friend of mine taught me this in the cable world. He would and he sold cable internet sales. So he was cable internet sales, right? So um he went business to business and sold internet service to small to medium sized businesses. Okay. He would very a lot of times take a lot of clients to lunch. He would only take his clients to eat at the places that bought internet from him. So if he sold Bob's Steakhouse an internet line, he's going to take his customers there. He's going to spend his money there. Now, if he went to Bob's Steakhouse and Bob's Steakhouse blew him off, never gave him the opportunity, he's not going there, right? So he's going to go to somewhere else. Okay. We should, we're in sales, right? And when we go spend money, these are small to medium sized businesses, they're in sales as well too. And this is where we can work out that referral to referral type deal. Okay, so let's talk about it. Um, Wherever you're spending your money and are a customer of another small business, you believe you should be asking and getting those referrals. Using the list, write in the contact name for each of these service-based businesses. Check off the contacts added to your phone and your database. So, number one on this list is actually a CPA. And the CPA is actually one of the very best ones that you could possibly ever have, believe it or not. So, think about this. CPAs are a service based industry, right? You technically could go do your taxes on your own, but you choose Joe. Joe is your tax guy. Now, just like a real estate agent, Joe has competition. Joe's not the only kid on the block, just like you're not the only real estate agent on the block, right? So if you're spending your money with Joe as a real estate professional, there is no reason why you can't ask Joe for referrals from his business back to you. Okay. Now, odds are, Joe, you are not the only real estate agent Joe is doing taxes for. He might do taxes for 12 other real estate agents, but odds are, here's a top secret, none of those agents are asking Joe for business. You are. You're going to add Joe into your database. You're going to follow up with him once a quarter, dropping donuts at his office, whatever it is that you want to do to stay top of mind with Joe. That's what you're going to do to continuously provide Joe value, keep top of mind. So if somebody does come in to do their taxes and speaks about, listen, one of the biggest tax advantages is real estate. Okay. So if somebody's coming in to talk about their $100,000 tax bill they have to pay, Joe very well may look at him and say, you better go spend some money before the end of the year, or you're going to have a huge tax bill. Well, what do? They go buy real estate or heavy machinery, heavy equipment, cars over so many pounds and, or like a tractor or something like that. And then they can write that tax liability off. And you could do that with real estate. So how cool would it be if Bob the attorney comes walking in, he's got $100,000 tax bill, but Joe says, here's Melissa's card. Call her. You need to go buy some real estate. You need to get rid of that money. And here's the other cool thing. Top secret. The money has to be spent before the end of the year, which means you're going to get that closing before the end of the year, right? So it's all like has to be timed right. Okay. So that is a very good one. That is if you aren't already working your CPA, uh, and that's a certified public accountant, tax person essentially. But if you don't have a CPA and you're new to the business and you don't have anybody doing your taxes yet, that's okay. Still go market to those CPA offices. Go let yourself be known there. Right? Who does your lawn? Who are you writing a check to do your lawn? They are meeting people every day. If it's not them that needs a house, they know of people. They run across people. They're doing your lawn. And next week, Sue comes out and says, hey, I'm going to have to discontinue my service in a few months because we're thinking about selling our house. Oh, really? Well, so I cut my one of my good friend, her name is Melissa. I cut her grass. If you don't have an agent, here's her card. Right? So I'm going to have him working for me. If I'm paying him to do my lawn when I could call 50 other people, I need him working for me. I need to see referrals from him. And that's just business. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. All right? Same with the pest company, pool service, plumber, AC contractor, electrician, car sales. How many different car dealerships are there? And now you can get them like delivered online from California to your house in Tennessee. It doesn't really matter on that. Insurance agents, that's a big one. Insurance agents are huge. Insurance agents, depending on the type of insurance that they sell, um, they a lot of times they need agents, right? They get homeowners insurance quotes and things like that. Well, you need clients that need to buy and sell real estate from them, right? Lender, banker, hairdressers are a great one. There's even some really cool pop-by ideas you could do with that. Your dentist, not even just your dentist, but the people that are working there at the dentist office. Pop in once a quarter to your dentist office. Drop off something, I don't know if you want to drop off candy at the dentist office, but maybe a basket of fruit, just something to show up and help them remember you, right? Doctor, general contractor, daycare manager. And then you can come in and fill the rest here, right? So the little baby check boxes are essentially once you write their name in the gray or in the what is this, like a tan color? Once you write their name in the tan color box, you can come over here and check it off that you have it in your database, right? So you need to make sure that you keep them in your database, which again should be part of that rotation of your follow up. Okay. All right, now let's talk about section 2. Who have you worked with? This is a big one that gets missed, right? This is a really big one that gets missed, and there's a lot of opportunity here. So let's talk about it. Um, Actually, you know what? We need to talk about, yeah, let's talk about your agent network. This is going to come as a shock for you, for a lot of you that might be watching right now. Agents, honestly, are one of the number one referral sources you can get for your real estate business. I'm not kidding you. Okay. And so that's where I get so confused on why agents are kind of rude to other agents. I don't understand that whole deal. So if I get an agent that is kind of not very friendly to me, kind of snobby-ish a little bit and all this thing, you know what I'm thinking in my mind? Girl, I got so much business I could be sending you, but because of your attitude, I do not want my clients dealing with somebody like that, right? You never know who you're talking to. Oh, you should always be kind to everybody regardless. But for some reason, it's kind of like, I don't know, agents feel like we're all like in competition together and we are not. All right. Because we're all different. We all have different targets. We should, right? We should know who we're targeting as far as our client base. Um, we all, we have different strategies. We're just different, right? So we have our own unique rock star talents that we're really, really good at. There's no competition in that, right? So like I think of my good friend Romus, and he's so good on the phone, like so good on the phone when it comes to negotiations and like working with the clients of, I don't know, getting that like slam dunk deal. He's hard. I mean, he is hard, but he's really good at that, right? I'm more along the lines of, if I'm representing my buyer client, I'm looking at it like, can I resell this house in 5 years? So I'm thinking of it as an investment side. And I definitely don't want them upset with me if we pay more for the house today than what it might be worth down the road, right? So I'm going to negotiate and strategize that way. Point I'm trying to make is that real estate agents, things happen. Okay. So always be kind. So let's talk about why. All right. So, number one, right here, relocation. Think about this. You're working, let's just pretend you're working a transaction with Dave and you're a listing agent, Dave's a buyer's agent. If you're kind to Dave and you treat him with respect, because I don't care what side of the fence you're on, listing agent, buyer's agent, we both have really tough jobs. I don't care which side it is. Not one job is easier than the other. I do both. Okay. And listing agents, there's a lot of work that goes into that, mostly on the front end before it goes to market. But then it's like holding the stress of, crap, we're not getting any showings. Crap, we're not getting any offers. And then having to present that to your seller every single week as to new ideas, new strategies that will get the house sold, right? Do the job that they hired you to do. So the point I'm trying to make on this is that if I'm working with I got off topic. Sorry about that. If I'm working with Dave and I'm kind to Dave, he's a buyer's agent. I let him know, Dave, I am available if you have any questions. I hope your clients love the home, enjoy your tour, all the things. right? And I'm just kind with him and I'm not rude. I answer my phone when he calls, all that. And Dave is respectful for to me as a listing agent. He provides feedback on after the showing and the whole thing, right? And let's say we go to close, we get a contract, we get to close, we work an entire transaction. Well, guess what? I just had a 30-day building rapport with Dave, right? He sees how I work, I see how he works. Well, let's assume 2 years pass and Dave has always stood out in my mind because he was super kind and he was super easy to work with and I liked his style. 2 years down the road, I got to move. I need to go to another state because of a family thing. Well, I'm not giving up that business and I'm not going to give it to some agent that I don't even know. That's not treating my clients right, right? So I'm calling Dave. Dave, listen, we worked that transaction a few years back. You're super easy to work with. I like your style. It reminds me a lot of how I like to work. I'm going to be relocating. I need somebody here. I need an agent here that I can send all my business to, and we work out some kind of a referral kind of deal, right? Now, listen, I'm going to have a lot. So I'm going to need like maybe 30%, something like that, right? I'm going to need Dave. And you've got to look at it like flipping the roles for yourself. Be watchful, be mindful of the really good agents that stand out. And you might be thinking to yourself right now, oh yeah, I know of some really bad agents that I've worked with in the past, and I know some really good ones that I've worked with in the past. In either case, be thinking about that, uh, because we're going to talk about that golden agent partner in a minute. Career path change, same deal. Dave could just say, this isn't for me, right? But if he enjoyed working with me as a listing agent, he might call me. Say, hey, I've decided I'm going to school. I'm going to go do this. This is not my thing. Can I pass you off anything that might float through in the future and we work out some sort of a referral? Heck yeah. You know, agent to agent assistance. So like, if one agent gets like super bogged down and just needs another agent to help show property, put signs out, grab lock boxes, all of that, you definitely need to have somebody in your pocket, couple agents in your pocket, right? Vacation relief. Think about this. You're going to go on a cruise once a year. Cruises, you don't really get cell phone service, right? So you need somebody that's going to handle your stuff, somebody that you trust. Here's a big one. You know how we should niche down to, as residential real estate agents, we should really have a target of who we're targeting. Are we targeting investors? Are we going after first time home buyers? Are we going after vacation buyers? Are we going after seniors and move ups, foreclosures? And who are we targeting in this big old like pond that we have to work with? Which pond are we going after? That's our world over here in residential. But look, there's real estate agents, and the only pond they fish in is land. They solely focus on land. Same with commercial. There's real estate agents, commercial is their bread and butter. That's what they do. Say Joe is a land agent, right? And that's sort of his sandbox. He understands those contracts are different, right? Just like the contracts are different with commercial, just like they're different with residential. Sometimes when you get so involved in your own little like pond of stuff that you're working, to go and learn more, to go and learn those contracts to write a commercial sale or a land sale that's kind of getting outside of your box. Now look, if you don't have much going on, by all means, you do you and do that. But if you're busy, kind of taking the time to work with a client, I'm going to give you a perfect example. I had a client one time that I had sold a lot of real estate with, um, and just residential retail real estate, right? He called me and he had inherited a bunch of land. I mean, a bunch of land. It was like 500, 600 acres. It was a lot. Huge, huge listing. And he's like, I want you to help me with it. Two things. First thing was that the location of where the land was way outside of my market. Now, did I mind driving to work that? No. It was like a 2-hour drive. I would drive 2 hours every day if that's what it took to take care of that listing, no problem. Second biggest thing though, land is not my sandbox. And I just genuinely didn't I didn't kind of have the time to go and invest to learn the contracts of it. B, I didn't feel comfortable trying to represent him in a way that he's used to with me on residential, with the land side, because I'm not familiar with it, right? And so he would not be getting the best of service, if that makes sense. So what did I do? I went on Google and I started researching real estate agents that were specific to land. They niched down, they had a target. Everything they talked about on their website was all about land. And this is what I stress about in the boot camp, right? So wherever your brand message is, whatever message you're putting out there for the world needs to be niched down. So if somebody's looking for you to help them with that one type of client or that one situation, you're already talking their language. In any case, fast forward, I found this agent, and he was land this, land that. Everything about his website was land. He had closed a lot of land transactions. I called him, interviewed him, gave him a semi-interview over the phone, just kind of probed him with some Q&As to make sure his personality and his style would vibe with my client, because I was very familiar with my client and I'm going to make sure he was taken care of. And then I called my client and I said, look, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, 100% honest with you. Land is not really my sandbox. I can sell it. Yes. It is in my market. Yes. But it's not really my sandbox. Therefore, I'm not going to be able to give you the best service that you deserve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you with my partner, keyword, my partner I just met 30 minutes ago on the phone. I'm going to connect you with my partner, Joe, and he's going to handle this. This is his thing. This is what he does day in, day out. This is all he does. Now listen, I'm going to share this with you. It was a big deal. It was a big, I want to say it was massive. The commission on it, the whole sale. But in any case, I knew my client would be taken care of. So I passed him off to that partner that I met, that other agent who, did the land stuff. Probably took me about 30 minutes from A to Z. And about 40 days later, I got a $30,000 referral check in the mail. So could I have made more taking the listing? Sure. Would I have done a good job? Probably. But to be honest, during that time, I don't know, I probably had 10, 12 retail clients I was taking care of. And then they would have all suffered because I would have spent more time trying to understand that market, understand commercial land and all of the things over there. And my client would have suffered. So it just wasn't worth it, if that makes sense. Okay. So always put your customer first. The money will follow behind that, always. Okay. Now, if you flip that, and if Joe is a commercial agent, that's his pond, that's his sandbox. He's not very good with residential. You better believe you want to go in your brokerage right now and find those agents that are solely focused on commercial, the agents that are solely focused on land. Ask them to lunch. Go have coffee, like really understand them, understand their business model, and say, look, if you run across anything on the residential side in this market, and this is kind of my bubble and where I hang out, send them to me. I will pay you that 30% referral, whatever it is. Okay. And you guys kind of come up with a thing, and you let them know vice versa. If I get a land client or a commercial client, I'm going to refer them to you, and we'll just form a partnership. Okay. And so that's where we're going to skip these two really quick. I'll come right back, but that's where I talk about every agent needs a golden agent partner. This is your golden agent partner. And you should have a golden agent partner for commercial, one for land, and then one for retail for any time that you may have an emergency pop up. You may need to go on vacation. You may need somebody to go sit at a closing for you while you're going and showing property on the other side of town. Things like that happen. The last thing you want to do is be scrambling looking Um, for an agent to help you, you should already have that figured out. So if Sue's your go-to person, you can call Sue. Sue, I need your help. I got to go show this property. Can you please go to this closing? Right. And you may have already you may work it in your business where you kind of talk about Sue to your clients from the very beginning. Be like, yeah, I have a partner named Sue. They may never meet Sue, but in the event of an emergency, they've already heard her name. So if you call and say, look, I've snagged, double booked my time. Sue is going to come and accommodate you at closing today. Whatever. And I've done it. I've had it happen where agents have forgotten to put the keys back in the lock boxes. All these things can happen. All right. So these golden agent partners, these are truly partners, right? That you guys can collaborate with and do. And I have partners. I have many real estate agent partners. So, for in different states and different cities, for different personalities and all the things. That's what I have in my business. I also have different lenders. So, because, just like agents aren't all the same, lenders are not all the same. And so some are better with my first time home buyers, some are better with my investors. There's the conversation lenders, and then there's the ones that they don't do a whole bunch of small talk. I'm not sending my first time home buyer to that lender who's not very good at communication, but that lender very well may be good on their fees and their rates. I'm sending my savvy investor clients to that lender, if that makes sense. In any case, the moral of the story is this: real estate agents aren't your enemy. They're not your competition. They're their business for you in your business. Okay. So you want to meet, greet, be kind, and all of the things. So if you're a seasoned real estate agent, you could consider kind of being a welcome wagon for your brokerage and for your market for new agents that come and join. And how do you do that? You go to your broker. Hey, if we get new agents, I don't have a problem with them coming to me on listing appointments to kind of see how that flow goes. I don't have a problem copying them on emails so they can kind of see the flow and the communication and the conversation. And I don't have a problem helping them with their first two transactions. Now, with that kind of trade off, how can that seasoned agent be reimbursed? Well, they can say, look, I'm going to let you shadow me, and I'm going to help you on your first two transactions. The first one, I will hold your hand, baby steps. Second one, I want you to kind of try to do it all on your in on it. I'll make sure everything looks good. Be here for any questions. And in exchange for that, 50%. Let's split the first two, 50-50. To a new agent, that's a good deal. To a seasoned agent, that's a good deal. You're helping each other. You're building rapport. You're getting out there. And if you're a new agent, then you just need to find a seasoned agent who you vibe with, essentially. Okay. And so if you can find that seasoned agent that you vibe with, then that is going to, and then put that out there to them. Say, look, can I come shadow you, go with you to show some property, go with you on a couple listing presentations, kind of copy me in on a few emails, maybe on a few transactions so I can see how that flow goes. And in exchange, I'll give them the whole commission on the first one, maybe split it on the second one, something like that, to where that seasoned agent is compensated for their time. Okay, so that very well may work. But whoever you choose as your golden agent partner, one for commercial, one for land, one for retail, you may have a few in retail, depending on your area. Consider going and having a monthly lunch with them. And you could update them on what's going on in the market, what's going on with work, but you can also just have conversation about what's going on in your life, right? So like letting them know my dog was sick last week, or my kid had to go pick my kids up early, so that they get a better idea as to what goes on in your world, right? Okay. So if you're new to real estate, you very well may not have agents that you can go to or call on yet, because you haven't worked with many. That's okay. If you're new, you want to go find a seasoned one to sh- ask them about that split for shadow kind of deal. Um, But if you are brand new to the business and you need contacts, you're going to just think about where you came from, right? What jobs have you done in the past that essentially could be referral sources, people that you could add to that database to follow up, nurture, help them remember that you are an expert real estate agent in your market, all of that. Okay. So here's what you want to do. So from agent side, if you're a seasoned agent and you've worked with other real estate agents, I want you to think back on the last couple of closings, what agents really stood out to you? You could have represented the buyer, you could have represented the seller, it doesn't really matter. What agent did you work with that really stood out to you that you feel would vibe with you and your style of work? Put their name here, their phone number here, and then you're going to make sure that you have them in your database. Once they're in your database, you're going to check it off because you want to start following up with them. Okay. And then also any contacts that you might have name wise for your commercial and land agents, you want to add them here and start working to set up some kind of an appointment, either a virtual meeting or coffee meeting, whatever there. And then think about your golden agent partner. Who is that one that this is the one you're going to call on, um, mostly for like vacation relief and emergency relief. So who is that golden agent for you? The one that you can really kind of call on. And the way to work that is they cover you on vacation and emergencies and you cover them. And it's just kind of a trade-off like that. There's not really compensation involved on that particular one. Now, just being kind to people and other agents, that is going to benefit you in the long run and in the event of relocation or they change careers or any of that stuff. So, never feel like agents are competition because they're not. There is plenty for everybody to get. Okay. But maybe you may hit part of your routine that at the end of every transaction, you just let them know. Hey, look, if you ever need help on vacation relief assistance, or if you ever need help putting signs out, lock boxes out, showing property, attending closings, I'm available. I'm available. And you could have like a little price sheet of what you charge, maybe for those little kind of items. But in any case, so definitely a way you can really, really, really build your business. All right. So let's talk about past clients you've closed. We're almost through here, I promise. Big part here, one past happy client equals 5 future referrals. So don't just think it's a one and done. You got to take care of that client, give them exceptional customer service from start to finish, and even keeping that follow up every quarter, every month, however you do that, to stay top of mind. That one is going to be worth 5. That one that you sold is the HR person that when her friend that she sits with in the office every day says, "Who'd you buy your house from?" "Oh, I bought it from Melissa. I'm gonna call Melissa." So that's one referral from one I just sold. Okay, so the point is this: take care of your clients, they're going to take care of you, but don't be one of these that one and done and they don't hear from you. Definitely follow up. Pop pies are a great way to show up, provide value to past clients, to stay top of mind. I love pop pies. I think they're awesome. I have a link here. If you have the workbook, you can click it. If not, I'll leave the link below in the description. But it's essentially a web page that has really cool pop pie ideas all there for you. There's links that you can click to get the stuff. I try to keep everything like $5 and under per household. So it's reasonable, right? Because that stuff can add up. Um, if you are a new agent and you haven't closed the transaction yet, so you don't have past clients, that's okay. You can use pop by strategies for your past coworkers. So whoever you're adding here on your list, as far as your friends from past places you've worked, start incorporating a pop by strategy and use it with them or your personal friends and family. Same deal. Okay. Events and memberships. So, of course, we have broker events. This is a way that you can get out there, get some face recognition, meet other agents in person. And they're free to attend, and you usually get a lot of bang for $0. There's some fill-in section here. If you did grab a copy of the workbook, you could fill that in. Realtor board groups, of course, this is like your realtor associations. So these are not free, eh, but they are usually centered around a specific city or a specific county that you can go and join to also meet other real estate agents. Vendors usually come speak and that kind of thing too. Others to consider would be your chamber of commerce. This is more if, if like land agents, you're going to find land agents here. You're going to definitely find commercial agents here. Okay, folks, because your chamber of commerce is really for a lot of small businesses. But as real estate agents, we're small business owners. You could definitely go join. It's, cost can be, it depends on your area. But in any case, it's one to consider. If you're looking for other events and groups and things to kind of get your business built. The welcome center is a super easy one and it's free. All right. So usually most all welcome centers, you can go into the welcome center in your market and just you usually they have like an area that has like flyers of local stuff. I know in a few smaller towns they they really have like a welcome wagon, right? And it's like a group of like two women and they go around with a little basket in the bath and they welcome new people to the neighborhood. They get their information typically from the county water department, so they know when somebody new moves in town, and that basket is full of vendor supplies. So it's full of like pens and koozies and all this stuff that other small businesses have donated to. So they put it all in a little basket and go welcome the people to the neighborhood. So, you could definitely get involved with your welcome center. Uh Part 5, this is that we're almost wrapping it up. This is all about you and your genuine interest. Okay. And this is a big one that a lot of us miss. So I felt it was really important to talk about it. Okay. I know that we're all about sales. All right. But look, you can use your hobbies, things that you genuinely enjoy, things that put you in your happy zone, to go and find your tribe. And so it's called, let me just read. Being yourself is what will get you the most clients and referrals than you can imagine. You can genuinely attract your tribe and others will grow to know, like, and trust you for you. You're not having to put a front on. You're not having to like, approach a stranger with a salesy kind of pitch or any of that. You're coming in as I want to do what you guys are doing because I like this too, and it could be crafting, planting, fishing, playing video game, whatever you're into. But you already are going to have something in common because they're in that group too. They like the same thing you do, right? The point of this is not to sell them. You're not selling them anything. You're genuinely in there because you enjoy that thing. Um, but you're going to meet friends, right? And you're going to hit it off with a few people that are in there. And it's just natural conversations going to be, well, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a realtor. I cover this area. Oh, really awesome. And so then that conversation can roll out, but it's super natural, right? So if you are more of an introverted type, listen, your hobbies can really be that lead generation source for you. Because if you're into like book reading or this, that, and the other, listen, book readers buy houses too. There's introverted people that buy and sell real estate every day too. They don't want somebody maybe like me who's too loud, right? Or who is like my buddy Romus, who is too aggressive on negotiations and just kind of straight to the point. They may want, they're going to want an introverted person like them who's kind of easy breezy, kind of comes in, does the thing and gets out, right? So, don't you can definitely use hobbies to really attract your tribe and just genuinely being you and not doing anything that you're not comfortable with doing, okay? But still have a very, very good business. And look, if you are introverted, then market yourself that way. Okay. Look, because, if you say, look, I'm more introverted and and I don't find that going to events and things like that gives me super high anxiety and it's just not my thing and I get super overwhelmed and I just shut down. There's clients that are just like you and they're going to work with you because they are the same as you. Okay. So market yourself that way. right? And that could be your kind of zone of genius. That could be what you're really good at. So, tips for finding these groups: Facebook, of course, city county events page. So, your city county should have kind of like a little calendar that shows events and things. And of course, YouTube and Google. You can always find somebody on YouTube who is talking about your same type hobby. You can get in the comment section because those folks that are leaving comments, they are um, they are part of your tribe. They're watching the same video, right? So, you're kind of in that bubble with them, get to know them, maybe respond to some of their comments and grow your business that way. Or, get comfortable with talking to people that way. That's a good way to do it. Google, you can just use Google, of course, to find events and things going on in your area um, that help, that you enjoy doing with your hobbies, but that will help you. Okay. If um if you got an aha moment, please give the video a like right now. So we've got a 10-day challenge right here in your workbook that basically essentially is going to go back to section 1. There's one task to do every day for 10 days to really amplify your networking and referral strategy. That is all there for you if you want to screenshot that really, really quick. If you didn't print the video, you can definitely screenshot that now. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What you focus on expands. You already know. What you focus on expands. That's my very favorite quote. So I had to share that with you. Now, if you want to level up, of course, I've got my essential basics for agents boot camp. It's the only really big boot camp that I have. And so we go over everything. So if you like what we talked about today, this is like amplified version of that. We go all the way to the beginning and we figure out your target client. We go through your brand message, your brand style, all the way down to keys to leads. So that is all there for you. And I'm going to tell you now, it has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you today. So next week is all going to be about our planning strategy for October. That's going to be a really good one. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed, do that so that you don't miss that one. And then let me know in the comments kind of what your thoughts are with real estate agents. And if you got an aha moment about working with other real estate agents and how agents can really help you grow your business. Look, I get a lot of referrals from agents and it's a really good lead generating source for myself and my business, but I let it known to them. I let them know I want to work with you. Send me what you got. Let me know when you need help. I am here. Right. So, in any case, let's get out there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's get out there. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get it.